From geopolitical tensions to artificial intelligence, climate negotiations and urban development, the debates here inside the building behind me in Baku at the 13th Global Baku Forum have highlighted both the scale of the challenges and the need for renewed cooperation. 3 days of debate have revealed a world in transition, more fragmented, more competitive and increasingly uncertain. The discussions here reflect a deeper question. How can international cooperation keep pace with the speed of global change? Over the past 3 days at the 13th Global Baku Forum, we spoke with several leaders, policymakers and experts taking part in the event to hear their perspectives on these issues.
We hope that in this series of panels and discussions we're going to have here, we will have occasion to listen from people who have had great experience and a lot of wisdom. And maybe out of our dialogue and discussions, debates and disagreements, there will also be emerging ideas that may find their way towards implementation for a better world for all.
Today, peace is in danger in many parts of the world. I have the impression that there is a confrontation between two different views at the international level. On the one hand, there are countries or even personalities absolutely convinced that the way forward is more unilateralism, more intimidations, more threats, maybe. And probably the idea is based on the fact that a deal, in their views, cannot be a win-win deal, that a deal means there's a loser and a winner. And of course, that's not at all how I'm observing the state of play. I think that we should follow a different approach. I think that global challenges requires global solutions, and global solutions requires respect, mutual understanding, and the common will to cooperate and to coordinate.
Bridging the divides is something that we would like to achieve. How can we achieve that? Of course, talking to each other, but talking alone is not sufficient. That is very true. So what we would like to help to achieve is, of course, peace. And we have huge, great wars, Ukraine, Russia, now we have the war in the Middle East, and it is difficult to find solutions. But I think we cannot give up to struggle, to strive for peace. And there also multilateralism is under great strive. And therefore what we have to do is to go back to international law.
Bridging is, let's say, a sport discipline that is not easy, and that a country, let's say, engage itself to be a bridge is something that is honorable in this moment, because we need more bridges ever. When there are wars, when there are famine, when there are problem issues, we need somebody that take the initiative and say, I'm the bridge. I take one shore, another shore, and they put together and we find a solution. This is the role that Azerbaijan want to play. Come on, we need 100 Azerbaijan to do that. So I'm really, really glad.
We are in a world that where mistrust is so inbuilt. Building trust, building bridges is really the most important thing we can do right now. Multilateralism is essential for humanitarian action, but we need to learn, and that's part of the reform that is being proposed, we need to learn how to partner with local partners, with local organizations that have capacities, that know their thing, that know their country, that know what is happening on the ground. And for the UN, it's very important then to really build that network, to put the capacities of the UN together with the capacities of the people, of the communities, of the organizations on the ground.
The forum, I think, is a very important platform for dialogue, to build understanding and to seek solutions at a time when they are urgently required. We have seen what is happening in the region, in this region, and its impact, its wider impact on the entire global community in terms of the risks to inflation, growth, jobs, stability, and of course, sustainable peace. And ultimately, without sustainable peace, there will be no sustainable development.
All these aspects of life in the 21st century, we believe in the World Academy, they need to be laid on a solid collective foundation. When we identify what are the principles of human security, what are drivers of human security, then we also have a frame of reference from which to think about all the phenomena, the local and global phenomena, such as, for example, the development of artificial intelligence, which, when it is subject to fundamental principles that protect the security of people and the correct use of technological developments, then it can only serve the advancement of civilization.
What we're looking at is the source of global turbulence. I think a lot of us are looking at the results of what happens when you don't focus on those very important things earlier on. We're looking at the result. It's much easier to get to the source of it and try and avert it earlier than trying to deal with the fallout that we're seeing in the world right now. So we're going to be discussing the origins of global turbulence, and most importantly, this comes down to people. People can talk policy, they can talk treaties, they can talk peace deals. Ultimately, it comes down to personal interaction.
When you think that you solve one challenge, another appears. So in that regard, as I could observe the different editions and iterations of the Global Baku Forum, some issues remain to be still common year after year, and then global security, stability and peace remains to be one of the biggest challenges that we face. Countries might vary, contexts can change. Now we are here in Baku now against the backdrop of unfolding war in Iran. AI technological developments have been addressed in different panels and private discussions as well. So that's new. Climate, not just because of the COP, which was an extreme success for Azerbaijan in terms of the level of hosting and the results that have been achieved, but in general as well, climate has become a very big issue discussed internationally, because we already see how climate change affects different nations already now, not only what it could be in the future.
So what is defining Baku Global Forum is dialogue, democratic atmosphere, free speaking, sharing experiences and visions. So vision and commitment to all these values of peace, stability and cooperation are the very foundations of this initiative.
And unfortunately, we are faced with the new challenges coming from the climate change. And these conflicts, wars, a lot of 1,000 tons of evaporation, of emissions to atmosphere, additional emissions to atmosphere, additional dust emissions to atmosphere. Please imagine oil refineries under the attack, petrochemical plants under attack, oil storages under attack, how big emissions evaporated every day to atmosphere. All of them are the big threat to the health of the people, our health. We are living in this region. And I am not talking about the nuclear threat. I'm only talking about the current already emissions and current threat which we already faced.
The situation we are experiencing today, the crisis we are facing, is largely caused by energy issues. At the same time, around 70% of the problem that climate change is trying to address is energy related. When you consider that 70% of our emissions come from energy, it becomes clear that every country needs to implement an energy policy that can sustain itself. In this regard, of course, each country has its own characteristics, but we attach great importance to renewable energy. We will take steps related to renewable energy.
all the leaders are here, and that demonstrates only one thing, that togetherness, diplomacy, dialogue can over and challenge the war and conflict. And so all the Nizami Center community is gathering here in Baku and repeating and repeating again the same message. Diplomacy and togetherness and dialogue is important for our humanity.
I think these conversations, the insights that we're learning from former heads of state and people who currently hold leadership positions around the world, they're really telling us what kind of a strategy we as global citizens need to adopt to foster peace in the world. Because I think diplomacy is something that we really need right now, and platforms like the Global Baku Forum organized by the Nizami Ganjavi Center, they give us an opportunity to basically figure out how diplomacy can be implemented when there's so much animosity in the world.
We need to start to implement the project that we are discussing about. But you know, since there is United Nations, there is OEA, there is a lot of organizations in the world, we are pushing them to do their job the way that they're supposed to. We need to change the kind of leadership that we're using now.
Every participant has his own ideas. Of course, we have a good chair. He was Commissioner European. We have good participant. Our chair is former Vice President of the World Bank. I have a Greek member who was Commissioner for Migration and so on. So the main objective is to speak frankly on Africa and to see how international cooperation could help open minds, open borders, and open national and continental economy.